Hey everyone, we're live. It's Wednesday. That means Kerrie is here. Hi, Kerrie.
Hump day.
Hump day. Kerrie and
Yes.
her curl.
I know. Look at them today. Got a mind of their own today.
Oh, mine is. I've got like Bozo the Clown hair today, so
Your hair is
it
getting
is.
so freaking long.
I know. Well, you don't even see the back. The back is getting like a mullet. I need to cut that shit off.
That's
I'm
crazy.
seriously considering just putting a ponytail in and just chopping it
Oh
off.
my God. If you got a ponytail, I'd be like, come on.
Like a Locks of Love situation.
That's locks of love.
Yes. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to see if I can see the captions. Here we go. So that I can see when y'all put stuff in the captions. I'm trying to be able to see them now. So because we're always putting links in the captions. So how's your day going? How's your week going? How's everything going?
It's good so far. So the weather is. You and I both had a walk this morning.
At identical moments, like we finished. I sent you. I finished mine, and then yours came through like within a minute of it.
Yeah.
And it was like in the 70s. In the 70s.
Watches. I know.
I know.
And I was like, you were like, it's so nice. And I'm like, I know, it's crazy. And even my coworker, my neighbor, but she's also working from home, was like, go out on the balcony. It's so nice. And I was like, well, I can't log all my shit out there. My laptop, my monitor.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as like on my little Surface Pro, leisurely in a coffee shop or hanging out on my balcony. No, I need my fat ass freaking monitor.
All the monitor. You need NASA.
Oh, I need and I'm down one from what I normally have in my office. I've normally got two, and then I've got my laptop, and so now I've got one, and that's fine because it's in my living room, and I really don't need like a wall of tech in my living room.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm.
What do you use two monitors for? Todd does that too. I've never. I know, but like, do you use it to like put like notes up on something, or as you need things, or to keep like your email going on one screen and then everything else on the other?
Yep, I usually have my email on the left side, and then on the right side I have like Microsoft Word docs because I'm always proofing something, reading something. Spreadsheets, it's great if you need a spreadsheet and a doc and side by side, and you could just move stuff over. So once you've had a couple of monitors, there's no going back.
And then like your task management system, also your to-do list or Trello or whatever you use.
I've got Trello board up. I've got the browser up all the time, and a Word. Like I'm always in Word docs proofing and editing, so I can have 4 Word documents up at once.
Sandy's saying she had to use a blanket on the patio this morning with her coffee.
Oh, come on now, Sandy.
I wouldn't go that far.
She's like, I got my pumpkin spice latte and my pumpkin candle and my blanket, and I was chilling. Made a little fire. No, Sandy, I'm with you. I'm always wanting fall to come a lot sooner too. Any excuse for a sweatshirt or a blanket, I'm like, bring it on.
This is false fall, according to that meme I posted the other day. It was that you go from summer to hell's front porch to false fall, to summer returns to or second summer, and then the actual fall.
So. Oh yeah, I fully believe we're gonna have one last nasty, fiery punch in the nuts before August and the beginning of September is out of here. I mean,
look who's watching. Yeah.
Todd Koch.
He's watching from the other room.
I'm gonna switch back to the big ass 42-inch monitor. Oh, Todd, is yours the curved monitor?
I think he has an actual television. I think it's an actual like television that they have turned into a monitor.
Yeah, but people can see all your shit. Like mine's big. Mine are the 22 inches. I've got 2 of the 22 inches. Or 30.
Holy cow! Todd is in here.
Yeah, everyone.
We should catch him as a guest.
He could probably just like pop into the frame. What's up, people?
I could send him a link and he could join. God, that would probably, and he is saying it's a TV. That would probably bring the Koch compound's internet to a total standstill. If both of us were doing this at the same time. Because I already think I'm a little blurry. I cannot figure out why I cannot be. Why is it so
fine to me?
Blurry?
Do I? Okay. Yeah, you look fine to me, Ma.
Usually on the replay, I look a little blurry, and you look super clear, and then I'm like, what?
Oh, now replay, I don't know, but you look okay to me now on my cell phone. So
okay.
Well, yeah, Todd, TVs, a lot of our execs have those now, and some of them have the curved big ones, like on the swivel thing in their office. I don't know if I want a single one. I kind of like my 2 because I can put them like this and bend them in some, like that. Yeah. So I don't know.
I want the remember on like Minority Report where he's just in the air?
Yeah.
moving stuff around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's coming.
I've reached a point where I'm ready to go back to an office. They said today on the Today Show, like I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I'm just like, I've said it before, we're working 10, 12, 14-hour freaking days. And on the Today Show this morning, they called it some kind of fatigue, but they were like, you don't have a natural beginning and end to your day. And I was like, that's it. That's it. I don't have, like, you go into the office, you start. You leave the office, that's your end. You might have to do some things when you get home, but for the most part, people leave you the fuck alone.
Well, see, that's the difference. Like that's why a lot of people want an actual like dedicated home office at their houses as well. Like that's the new thing. My employees are complaining that they don't have home offices, right? Because they're young and they live in these cool areas that have miniature apartments that cost $1 million. But so at least in my house, I have this dedicated space that I can say, I am done. Get up, close the door, walk away.
But I'm saying that culture doesn't exist right now, because even if I had that, it wouldn't be, because people are sitting at their computers for so long, they're working and working and working. Yeah. So it's like nothing for me to get regular flow of emails till 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Well, and also think about how much time at your office. So when you're at work, like an actual, like at the workplace, you are probably operating at 70% efficiency and that's fine. Because there's a lot of chit chat and getting to know each other and hanging out and saying, "Oh, come look at this," or whatever, that sort of thing. Or would you do this weekend? You're going to eat lunch.
You're going to meet somebody for a meeting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're getting ready for a meeting. You're walking to the meeting. You're walking back from the meeting. All that kind of. So now we've cut out all of that fluff, if you will, but that makes it sound negative, and I don't mean it in the negative sense.
I know what you're saying.
And so now it's just like go, 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 go.
Yeah. Now it's like there's no reason for you to not sit there all day and answer every email that comes in. And then people are just like, oh, well, if an email comes in, they want to deal with it, they'll answer it. And there's other people CC'd on it. So then other people are getting it. Now they feel like they have to do something. So it's just a cycle. It's just I
don't like sitting in front of my email all day and using that as the dictation of what I'm supposed to be doing that day. That drives me insane. So I actually try.
I'm bad about that. It's my to-do list.
I try not to look at my email constantly. I try to look at it, figure out things I need to tackle, put it away, do the things I need to do, then go back and look at it, double check, deal with things, all that kind. I also am a firm believer that there's no such thing as an urgent email, because people don't know where you are. There's an urgent phone call, but there's no such thing as an urgent email, because it's being sent.
It's an interesting concept.
And it just lands somewhere. You don't know if they're in a meeting. You don't know if they're en route somewhere. Like, what if you were at the office and you're in like a board meeting, or you're in another meeting, and you get an email and it says urgent? How are they dictating the urgency of that if they don't know what your actual schedule is?
Yeah, I guess because they always expect you to be connected, right? Like they expect you to see it on your phone pop up in a bubble, and you're like, oh shit.
So I have all my email notifications turned off.
Oh, so that would never work.
I have not a single device that notifies me about a single email that I get.
That would never work because I wouldn't see anything. I mean, now when I take PTO vacation now, this is the first time in my life this year I have actually turned, when I'm on PTO, everyone respects it. And I turn my notifications off, because the sheer ding of the Microsoft Office Outlook app, it makes like a noise, whatever that file is, that sound file is. I just I just don't want to, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it.
But you also, and I don't mean this negatively, but you do have FOMO as well.
Well,
You're a big FOMO girl.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid I'm going to miss out on something that's like I could have answered or helped with.
Yeah, exactly. And exactly. Yeah. And also then you might have to clean something up afterwards.
Yes, I don't want to have to clean it up when I come back. But I've learned on PTO, and everybody, because of the situation we're all in, I mean, my boss is great about it. And I think even before we got into this, she was great about it. But it's like, nope, we're not going to bother her. So I got to where I felt comfortable turning off. I never had that in the agency world. Oh my God, I never had the opportunity to turn anything off in the agency world. It was like, you must be available at all times and for all reasons. It's like we never ever got a break and never got to turn anything off.
That's so funny, because I'm the opposite. I'm like, nothing is urgent unless someone specifically says it's urgent.
Yeah, no, it was.
And then I will let you know if I need. I know. So Eric is saying, I'm ready to go back to school for that very reason. I don't do great without structure.
Same.
Mark is more than ready for me to have structure.
I like structure, Eric, too. I like having a beginning and an end. I'm not opposed to getting an email after hours, but it's like I'm not being asked to sit there for 3 or 4 hours longer than I normally would have.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And things just have a different flow and a different pace. So now when
Oh,
everyone's home,
absolutely.
it's like go, get as
Well,
much
and you
in.
take a full hour for lunch when you work. Like, even if
Sometimes,
you're, I know, but for the most part, like at home, you might go and make a sandwich, but
I'm
then sit
eating here
back.
the whole time.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
sit right back down in front of it. Even if you took 15 minutes to make the sandwich, you're not you're going anywhere or anything like that. So I agree. So
yeah.
Anyway.
So speaking of things that you can't have while you're at work, I shared this on Instagram, but can I share it here?
Yeah.
I wanted to show in case anybody didn't see. So there's
people always want to know Kerrie's finds.
Well, there's a gal that I would normally, when you have like vendor relationships or just contracts you use all the time. You'll know this. This is my Cision person, my PR Inspire and Cision person. Normally, a couple times a year, she and I have meetings, and know. And we'd have a meetings, and then she'll take me to lunch, and we'll talk about stuff going on and what we need to chart for and budget for next year. So we couldn't do that this time. So she sent me this little email from a company called Thanks. It was THNKS. They were the company that put together the gift and sent you an email to claim the gift.
But missing an A.
Yeah. And it's actually a company called Cocktail Courier that they sent me, and they said, I'm not going to say her name, Sandy has sent you a blackberry bramble cocktail. Please claim. So it comes in this little box, and it opens up.
Courier, but that's cute. I love good packaging.
Oh my God, I love good packaging.
And you know what? Part of me is like, oh my God, that's such a waste of money because that's not what I'm buying. But then part of me is like, it is so part of the experience, and I love good and that's why Apple does so well. The boxes are so thick.
Oh, they've won numerous AIGA awards for their packaging.
Just all kinds of just that sort of thing. I love.
Yeah, Apple's packaging like per piece is so expensive.
Yes.
But
even when I was getting Blue Apron, I thought that they had good packaging.
I remember
compared to when
unboxing.
I tried out like HelloFresh and some of the others, and those weren't nearly as good.
That's good.
And it wasn't even, and the Blue Apron one wasn't even all that well packed. It was called all dumped into the box, but then they had like a note card, and it always came with something that was a grand intro. And you open the box, and like that one, the top of the box was like, "You've made a great choice this week," or that kind of thing.
It's cute. Well, this was sitting in here, and this is it's blackberry bramble.
Okay.
So there's a picture. There's a recipe.
Yeah.
And by the way, they work with cocktail mixologists to do this. So you open, and then these were on top. These are the little dehydrated lemon wheels that go on the top.
Okay.
And then you open it up, and there's 2 fresh lemons.
Cute.
Three things of Bacardi.
Nice.
And then on the side, 2 of the blackberry bramble simple syrup.
The sauce, the simple syrup. That's cool. And then the recipe tells you how to make it, like step to do what.
You just add the ice.
That's awesome.
Shake it up.
That is so
Those
cute.
are real lemons, like honest to goodness, real.
What do you think something like that costs?
God, this is probably a $25-$30 box and contents. I mean,
that's what I'm wondering. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, 3 bottles of Bacardi.
I mean, Todd's watching. He knows. I don't know what shit costs. Like
so these are plastic, by the way. So that's kind of nice that you don't have to worry. Although these are glass. They marked it fragile throughout. But yeah, that
like what's a lemon cost? I literally don't even know what a lemon costs.
Well, you can get like 4 for $1 usually, something like
really?
that. Yeah, but you get them a lot cheaper if you wholesale like these guys.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, how cute is that? And so she goes, I can't take you out for drinks, so here you go. I'll send you a round of cocktails. I was like,
that's so cool.
I know, isn't that cute? It's genius.
Speaking of cocktails, one of our favorite places announced that it's closing.
Womp, womp.
I know. So there's this place in Turtle Creek here in Dallas called, it's my favorite place. I can't remember its name. Paul Martin. Paul Martin. And Paul Martin's is where Kerrie and I always meet before we go to a concert or hang out or anything. They have a great happy hour, all that stuff.
Great.
Wonderful. And I think they have like 10 locations across the country. Well, most of them have kind of closed now. And Dallas is one of the ones that was on the list.
In Austin.
Probably not going to reopen. Yeah. They said
no, they kept some of their California locations.
Some of them. Well, some of the California ones stayed open for sure. Some of them they definitively said are closing, and then others they said will most likely not open. And Dallas is on that list.
Yeah. It's sad.
I know.
It was a pretty bar. It had a very Hillstone
It's
vibe.
gorgeous. Yes, that
Low
is going to be.
big
Someone just
bar.
needs to go in there with a new logo and maybe some new drapes or something, just to change the color a little bit. And it's going to be a gorgeous restaurant.
It's a beautiful restaurant.
It's huge though. That's the problem. It's so big, and it has to be a big operation to take over something.
Yeah, it's primed for a Hillstone concept. Unfortunately, all three of their concepts are right up the road on Preston. So I don't hold out hope that Hillstone will put another outpost.
Yeah.
But it's perfect for like a Hillstone or a, some sort of like Sevy's type. Mercury type.
What was the place that used to be, Eric, you'll know this, the place that used to be on Lemon, that was someone who used to work for Houston's and Hillstone, and they opened a restaurant, and it's in that cursed restaurant location on Lemon where also Tallywhackers was, which was the male version of, and then there's been Hooters. Like there's like an egg yolk cafe there now that is a breakfast place in the morning, but then the name changes to like some Italian, like paninis at night or something like bizarre. That. I don't know. It's that, and it's a weird. It has no parking lot, so you have to valet, but then they valet your car like steps away from where you parked it. Yes. Anyway, they had a restaurant concept there that was so good, and it was someone who used to work for Houston's. And they basically, the tables look the same, the menus look the same. The food was the same. That would have been a great concept for them. I love that place.
Whoever, all the conglomerate that runs Hillstone, Houston, Houston's Hillstone concept, just genius. I mean, I would love to work for that restaurant conglomerate one day because they get customer service right.
Yeah.
And it's a higher price point, but it's one of those things where you get what you pay for.
I also like that it's
never
not
had a bad meal there.
Fancy either, though. Like it's
good, not super fancy. But it's not it's fancy. Approachable. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's approachable.
That. And Houston's or Hillstone or whatever it's called now is the one that's a little darker, like a little bit more intimate,
older set,
older set, and then R&D is the one that is younger and more lively.
Love that restaurant,
beautiful. But it is so crowded. I actually prefer Hillstone.
Do you really?
Base, I do.
Oh, the dip duo at R&D though. The dip duo with the guac and the pimento cheese and
I love
tortilla chips.
And also, I love that at R&D I can get sushi too, and I love that.
Yes, and the restaurant's beautiful. It's designed by Good Fulton and Farrell here locally in Dallas. Yes, they won design awards for it. Like it's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I do also love Honor Bar. The inside is like Hillstones and R&D had a baby. You haven't been to Honor Bar? What? Okay, we're going.
It's in the old Parigi spot, right?
No, it's well, what used to be there was that
not Parigi.
I know what you're trying to say. In Highland Park Village,
Yes. What was the the Italian restaurant that was there?
Yes.
Todd, what's the name of the restaurant we go to? We used to go to. That has
like
all the prices are always a random dollar amount, like that place was.
It's like a Hillstone and R&D had a baby. It's and a little bit more Nantucket, sort of upper, like Hamptons vibe. Mm-hmm.
And is it Patrizio's? That's the name of it.
Patrizio's, yes. Sandy. Good call, Sandy.
Yes. And Michelle also likes R&D
Michelle,
Kitchen.
Yes, R&D Kitchen. Mm-hmm.
And then Eric is saying that place was called the Catalina Room. The Catalina Room. That's what it was called. Yes. It was so good. And Beth wants to know, is Lucky's still on Oak Lawn? It is. It is one of the last standing of the Gene Street concepts, which I don't even know if he owns it still or not.
I don't think so. That conglomerate owns it, that C3 or whatever it is. Yeah, they owned the Good Eats. They took out of business when they redid Turtle Creek Village. Yeah.
It's so
Lucky's
good.
still has their biscuits, Beth.
So good.
Still got the rolls are gone, sadly, because the rolls were the same as Good Eats. And then when Good Eats left, all the old people right here where I live, all these high rises would go to Good Eats. And when they redid Turtle Creek Village, they all freaked out because they couldn't go have their Sunday special. And they all said, the rolls are going to Lucky's. And they did for about 2 years. And then they got rid of the rolls.
But you know what? It's because Lucky's because the homosexuals don't want all the rolls. They want all the other.
Y'all know you eat bread. Y'all know you eat bread.
I do. I love bread.
Oh, I'm like, bring me the jam caddy. I asked for the jam caddy and the butter's already on the table. Any restaurant where the butter's already on the table is a restaurant after my heart. I was like, bring me that for my biscuit.
Andre said you were hilarious. You both keep talking at exactly the same time. No, we do. So this, funny enough, when Todd and I first started going out, so 22 years ago, 21 and a half years ago, when we first started going out, and I met his family after he met mine, because I've been out to my family forever. And because, I mean, of course I've been out.
And you were in the valley looking like you looked.
Exactly.
They were on you.
I was the tallest, gayest, whitest thing in 3 counties. Like everyone knew.
Like something different about that kid.
Yeah. And so anyway, so Todd he's from a very small German family. So it's literally his parents, him and his sister. That's his entire living family. And when it was extended, he had a grandmother and an aunt. Like that was it. And they're very proper.
That's like me.
Yeah, and they're very proper. And none of this is meant to be critical. I'm just doing a compare and contrast. And so they're very proper. So one person talks at a time, and then everyone acknowledges, and then the next person talks. Like it's very kind. It's very what you're supposed to do.
Very European.
Yes. So on the opposite side, Todd goes to, I think one of the first things was we used to do a family golf tournament every year in July. And then also like a Thanksgiving or something like that. So he went to one of these big family events where everyone is just shouting at the center. I mean, and I have a very large family. I mean, I have 3 siblings. I have 2 sets of parents because both my parents have been married 4 times, both single at the moment. But so between that, and then I've got all these random aunts and uncles that may or may not actually be related to me because we may have just acquired them in a failed marriage, but we liked them better than the marriage, and so we kept them with us. By the way, my mother is watching, but
I was going to say, let's ask Cheryl about that. There's blood relation, and then
she knows. My mom knows that sometimes like your favorite relatives are not the ones that are blood related to you. Mm-hmm. She could testify to that,
and they just get called aunt or auntie. We don't really know.
Exactly. Like my Aunt Barbara, I have no idea. She's my grandmother's nephew's wife. Yeah. I do know that. But I call her my Aunt Barbara, like literally, just like that. And then I have like 4. I have 1 biological cousin, but then my grandfather remarried, and then I have like 5 girl cousins from that thing. And so there's just all these. We all come together, and then we eat, and we're just talking and yelling and talking. And Todd's kind of like an overload. Like, how do you? Because he is actively trying, because he is such a sweet person.
He's trying to make inroads in conversation.
He's trying to follow all of the conversations and doesn't realize that the way we do it is we talk until we're bored, and then we just abandon that conversation and move to the next one or a tangent or something. And so it was really hard. I can't remember why I'm telling this story.
Oh, because you were talking about the differences in your family. And,
and then talking over each other and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, talking over each other. Yeah. That's one of those situations where Todd must have felt like he was just thrown into the tilt-a-whirl in a carnival.
Yes. All of this conversation. Yes, exactly. He's a champ. He loves my family. He's so great with them, but it's a lot it's just a typical like lower middle class family. Like it's just like
that's
everything.
what I grew up in too.
Yeah.
Todd, fetal position in the corner is what Todd said.
Yes, exactly. Early on, yes. He can hold his own now. So one of my favorite relatives is and Beth thinks it's talk until we are bored.
It's true. Or you talk until you hear a snippet of someone else's story, and then the whole table goes, "Oh yeah," and then everybody moves on. And Todd's probably like, "Well, we didn't finish the other one." Doesn't matter.
It's like no one does. There are so many times I even listened to this broadcast, and I'm like, I didn't finish that thought.
Oh yeah, we do that,
and I never circled back around to finish the thought.
We do that all the time.
I know it's and we eventually make it back, right? But,
well, and as a family, it just ends up coming up in the next family discussion. Oh yeah, and it just keeps going. Yeah, poor Todd. Exactly. Poor Todd.
I know. But he's gotten used to it. So my grandmother, Rosemary, who was technically my granddaddy's second wife, so no legal blood relation to me. Legally, yes. But she was my grandmother my whole life. Love her to death. She's the one I go visit in San Antonio. Fabulous. Starts drinking in the morning. She's not a drunk. She just is a good drinker. And she's nice.
Perfected it.
And so the first time, one of the first times Todd was with her, it was one of the golf tournament days. And I think my grandfather had already passed. Yeah, he had already passed away because Todd didn't actually know my grandfather. And so it passed away. And so it's, I think, our first golf tournament after that. And he always was the one that led these things. And so my grandmother, we were staying at her house, and I think it was just a very overwhelming. and she snapped at Todd about something like borrowing golf clubs or something. Why can't you bring your own golf clubs or something like that? And as she like picks them up and throws them into the trunk of her Cadillac sedan DeVille, right? And just throws them in there. Which, by the way, the trunk of this thing is so big that she could throw it like luggage into an American Airlines 777, and it just keeps going. And so, but then we get there, and so we drove a different car. And so we drive separately, and we get there, and she pulls up, and she has a Coors Light in her hand, and she's like, "Hey, how y'all doing?" And so I'm like, "Okay, I got your number. I know how this goes." Yeah. One of my favorite stories. And Eric is saying Mark can sympathize with Todd. He freaked out the first time he met my crazy family. Mark is an only child, and his whole family was just him and his mom.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, it's like going into like just like an amphitheater when you've been used to a phone booth, right?
Yeah, and I grew up with a pretty relatively small family, and we weren't allowed family necessarily. I mean, you know, I had cousins and we all played and stuff, but I'm the same way. I get into like large group situations and I'm like, it's a lot. Like I usually pair off with somebody or a small group of people and some drinks, and I'm like, man.
Yep. See, Todd gets mad at me, and rightfully so, because I do this, and this just happened at Black Tie Dinner last year as well, is I will start talking to someone, and because I'm so tall also, people see me and they come up because they want to talk, or I see them across the room, and then like I'm distracted from my current conversation, and someone will walk up and I'll be like, "Oh, hey," and hug them, and then completely turn back on the other person. And I hate that about myself. And to the point where I actually, this last time, went and apologized to the older woman who I'd been talking to, who was so sweet, very kind, who I just literally ended the conversation and changed, not on purpose, but because someone else someone better came up to me and talked to me. It's not better. I'm
done with you. Hey.
That is just what that's how it sometimes comes across. So bless his heart. He keeps me from creating too many faux pas. This is the most Todd has been talked about on this show.
I know. Todd jumps on, man, and it turns into the Todd show.
Yes.
What else can we talk about?
Aaron is saying Ryan is an only child, and just like Todd, maybe that's why they both empty the sewer hoses in the RVs to get a break from us. Yes.
Yeah, that's the other thing is I grew up. I mean, I have older brothers, but I grew up as an only child because they were all out of the house. So I learned to keep myself busy, and I learned to be okay with silence. Like it wasn't. I mean, I would. Any kid says I'm bored, but I never really said that a lot because I learned to keep myself busy in my room. I spent a lot of time in my bedroom, and that's probably why I love music so much and playlists is because I was just obsessed with music and making mixtapes, and I would tinker and do all that stuff as a kid. And I learned, you know, my parents took me everywhere. So whatever road trips, or my dad was a fan in California, growing up as a kid in California, the Sunday drive. Oh, Jesus Christ, the Sunday drive. And my mom would make Wonder Bread and Miracle Whip and Lay's potato chip sandwiches, you know, and take them. And I'd be like, and we'd have to drive every Sunday, which is why I'm car sick to this day. I'd always be car sick in the back of the damn Lincoln. Yes.
Oh, I wish we could more Sunday. Occasionally, I'm like, I just need to go for a drive. Todd does this too.
I do like driving.
He mostly does it because his car's batteries need to be charged. But yes.
But I'm the same way, Todd. I grew up in small family.
Black Tie Dinner this year.
No.
They're doing a TV simulcast or something, like a telethon kind of thing, like what the Democratic National Convention is, but for Black Tie Dinner on Channel 8, I believe.
I thought about that the other day. I thought, oh yeah, I don't have to worry about a dress or find anything to wear to that.
I know, but I was just when I'm starting to figure out like my creativity. Although today I look like I had to go deliver a check to a Baptist church today. So I was like, maybe
you kind of look like a Baptist preacher today.
I was like, I'm going to take the nail polish. I needed to take the polish off anyway. I was like, maybe I'll take the nail polish off because I need them to like me for this transaction to finish that we're doing with real estate transactions. So I'm like, okay.
So in 2020, we're still doing the gay edit, are we?
I know. Well, if it comes to real estate, yes, I am. Yeah. I'll dress like a repressed straight man if I have to.
I mean, you know, we grew up in small towns. I think you'll always be used to the gay edit. Like Mark will always be used to the gay edit when we go home to Oklahoma. Everyone knows he's gay, but it's not like he rolls into town. The gay's here, you know.
Funny enough, I actually don't do it that much. That is part of my fuck it 40s. Like that is like, this is who I am. You're going to take it, whatever. The exception is if you have a position of power over me and I need what you are giving me.
Yeah.
I don't want to violate that, especially if you're a Baptist minister.
It's just called working the system. That's all. It's the same thing as retail therapy. You work in the system. I don't pay retail for shit. You know?
Exactly.
I figure out how to get what I need doing the least amount of.
I got a lot of free dinners in my early 20s working the system, if you know what I mean.
Well, there's a difference between a system and a street corner, or the gay go-go box.
Never on a street corner. I'm a classy bitch.
Classy hoe. We were on the go-go box at the Roundup.
Yeah, I'm still WAP here. That video, by the way, I finally watched it.
So good.
Oh my God, that video cracked.
Kylie Jenner.
Yes, oh I love, and you and I have talked about this. I love Cardi B so much.
And you didn't like her in the beginning, and I was like,
actually, I still don't like most of her music very much. I find it kind of repetitive and a little too like, okay, I get it. You got a pussy. Like, I get it. Like, let's see Facebook.
You got a lot of money and long nails. All right.
I know, I get it. But I love that, and this comes down to what we were just talking about, that fuck it 40s thing, is I love that she is exactly who she is at all times. So when she was pregnant, like baby leg about to fall out of her pregnant.
Yeah.
She was, actually, I don't think that's how babies are born, but anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's, yes, exactly. But she, with the way she was dancing, that could have happened. Like, just the mama, I'm falling out. But like, she was still doing the twerking and the cussing and all that, and talking all this. I love, and maybe that's not the stuff that I'm saying so much, but I love that she did not lose her identity because just because she was pregnant, she suddenly had to be motherfucking Teresa, or that now that she's a mother, that she has to be perfect and all that stuff. Like the thing of the other day that she talked about on Instagram about brushing your teeth before the stuff because you don't want to.
Talked about the health of the ladies' nether regions. I was like, this is so on.
It was so hilarious. Which was like, funny. She's like, brush your teeth before you do the things. I'm not going to get into it all here. Brush your teeth before you do all the things because you don't want that cheeseburger you ate for dinner down there. Like, like, okay, I never thought about that.
She's so unabashedly herself. Like, and she just does not even, there were a lot of people because she got pregnant right at the time that she was like, boom. And there were people that told her she shouldn't have that baby. And she was like, y'all are nuts. Like, I'm going to be me.
I want to fucking look into. Todd, are you listening? Is this thing on? Todd, I want to.
Did you see the Birkin she just sent Megan Thee Stallion a couple days ago? She sent her a hand-painted Birkin. And it had her on the front.
Is this thing on, Todd?
The mini Birkin, Todd. She's like $30,000. It's fine.
Yes. Eric's saying he does very little gay editing. I don't take my nail polish off for anyone. I really don't. I mean, I very rarely edit myself. And I just drop husband like there's no big D.
Yeah, you always,
whatever. Like, it's not.
But since you were going to be handing a check to a Baptist preacher, I mean.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Todd's saying no.
Oh, what, on Cardi?
No, on Birkin.
Oh. Todd.
I'll just have it delivered.
It's a small car.
I'll just have it delivered. It's a Jeep. Actually, I want a Jeep better. I want a Jeep more than a Birkin, so I'll do that. So I'm
gonna need you to get a Jeep too.
Yes. And the Gentrys are a lot for Doug too. They think everyone needs their own bedroom and bathroom on. Wait, they think everyone. On
vacation per person.
Yes. Because they want very proper spaces. Whereas my family also, this is the other thing. My family will come to town and they all bunk up here. They're like, you got a floor? Sure,
we're good.
We'll lay on it. We brought it. My sister brings air mattresses with her everywhere she goes. She's like, I got an air mattress in the back. Like, and
is Monica on today? Oh my God, Monica of all the days.
No, she's not. But like, it's like a fucking king size, like self-inflatable. Like, you push a button, king size bed. Like,
things going like, what's happening? Oh, Monica's just setting up her bedroom.
She's just setting up a bedroom. We got a sectional sofa in there. 3 people can sleep on that. So that's 3. And then we got, and here we can put in the air mattress. So that's 2 more. The kids each have the kids each have queen beds, so that's 4 people that can sleep in there. And I mean, it's like just piled up. It was really hard before we added the extra bathrooms because it was like everyone using the same bathrooms.
I'm a little, it's weird. I grew up in Oklahoma and I grew up with, like that sort of everybody we figure it out. But I don't know. I'm weird about that. Like when we do Airbnbs and stuff, I like for there to be enough bathrooms and enough rooms and everybody have their own space, mostly because I can't stand to get up in the morning and trip over everyone's shit. That's why. Well,
and that's the older Suzanne said, that's how the Gentrys are. I've got floor space. Here we come. I've slept on so many floors as a kid.
I can't though. I can't live in chaos. So I can't I need people to have their space to keep their shit in.
Well, the older I get, the less I now when we travel, I unpack, even if we're only staying 2 nights, I fully unpack my suitcase.
I unpack in the hotel.
Put it in the drawers, everything. Yep. I hate living out of my suitcase.
Yep.
The reason in our RV that we took us so long to get an RV and we got the one that we got is because it has the bunk space in it. Because I don't want to be converting a fucking dining room table into a bed.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm doing this.
You don't want to have to get up every morning and do that.
Well, and I want your kids' shit over there and just leave it in your bed. I can shut a curtain or a door or just walk past it. I don't want it in the spaces.
Yep. And I grew up that way. My mom would always be like, take your shit and put it away. I don't, even if she used to just throw shit in my room and shut the door. That's where I get it from.
Michelle, I can't sleep on the floor anymore because I'm 72 years. I'm 72. And once I'm on the floor, I can't get up. I agree. That is me now too. I sit on the floor sometimes and I get up like I am 9.5 months pregnant. Like,
yeah. You're like, oh.
I can't believe it did that.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm with you, Michelle. Like I couldn't. No. Like people say air mattress, and I immediately like, ow, this hurts. I don't.
Yeah. So the newer ones are nicer, but like Todd's parents in Todd's bedroom, there's a pull out it's like a twin size like club chair that has like a pull out thing that you can sleep on. I've tried to sleep on that, and I just can't do it. So I have to go sleep in a different room with the kids and make one of the kids sleep in there because I can't also, if there's any sort of tilt or bar or I don't know, I'm getting picky. So
I'm even as a kid. Well, we talked about the FOMO thing. I think I've always had FOMO since I was a kid. But even as a kid, I couldn't because my parents, California in the 80s, you would just, you'd go over and you drink and the kids would play until they just passed out. Everyone would be asleep and I'd still be up because I couldn't sleep just anywhere. I was that weird kid. My parents would be like, just go lay on the couch, maybe playing cards and smoking and drinking strawberry clubs, and I couldn't. And to this day, I can't just sleep anywhere. People
But I actually can fall asleep anywhere. I just can't sleep for extended times anywhere. Like I could lay my head on this desk right now and fall asleep. Like if I am ready to fall asleep, I will fall asleep. Eric is saying the first time my mom, brother, sister, and her 3 then little kids came to visit Mark and me in 2002. They arrived at 6 a.m. Holy moly. After driving for 12 hours. My mom even said it looked like the Beverly Hillbillies pulling up to the high rise. I didn't disagree. And they took up every couch, bed, and floor in the place. They're the ones that live like 5 buildings down from you, Kerrie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the one with the cement Brise Soleil on the outside.
Oh, 3525.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fancy.
The Meyer building.
Isn't it funny, Eric, to think that your niece and nephew have slept on the same sofa that Bill Clinton has sat on? Probably. Because they always have all the big politicians at their house.
That's funny.
It's funny,
yeah. That is the very first fun fact, first residential high-rise in Dallas, the Howard Meyer building. 1960. Really? You guys 61, we're 63. We were the second one, my building.
I love that building, and they've redone it. So when we first started going to that building, it was a little kind of like nursing home-ish. It felt on the lower floor, like the common areas. Yeah. But they've since redone them, and they are so beautifully redone. I'm sure it costs money, but
at 3525.
Yes.
Yeah, they do a really good job with their Christmas decorations too, Eric.
They do.
Nice. But the only thing I don't like about that building is they didn't respect the architectural integrity of the exterior. They let people take their balconies and enclose them in to make their units bigger. So there's no uniformity when you look at the building. Look through the breeze. And some have balconies, some don't. And then the windows, you guys have got to do your windows down there. That's like aluminum windows in that building. They've never redone them. Can't
We're not
imagine what
bragging on you, Eric.
energy bills are.
Well, let me tell you. So I was looking so my dream, and Todd will attest to this, and Eric and I will end up in rehab because of this. My dream is to live in a building like that after the kids move away. Like I want to
totally.
I want to downsize. Or maybe not downsize. I mean, downsize from 7,000 square feet, but I don't want to downsize to like 1,000 or 2,000.
No, you can get a couple. Yeah.
Well, they have there's a penthouse in that building right now.
Yeah.
That is like bonkers. Like I'll have to find it and put a link. It is bonkers. And it has got like a round bedroom or closet or something and like a skylight. Supposedly when they brought, and Todd's saying no again.
Todd, you will want to downsize by then. Trust me. You don't want to mow anymore. You don't want to keep up with all that.
No, he does. They love, his parents still mow to this day, and they're in their late 70s. That's just a hobby of theirs. They love it. And I respect that. I'll just have my own somewhere also.
Just have a lake house. So when you downsize, you get a condo. That's your pied a terre. And then you get a lake home or a beach home, whatever you want to get, whether you want to go fly to where you want to go or go to the lake.
And Eric does say there's a whole story about the windows at 3525.
Oh, yes. Tell me someday. It's so fun in these high-rise buildings along here. First of all, Eric knows this, and I'll completely cop to it. We were the ugly kid on the block. Totally were. Moved in 12 years ago. It was a shithole. And we spent all this money doing assessments to fix it up. So, Eric, we had the nasty windows too.
Yeah.
But we were assessed a ton because they didn't save any money. Well, now we've got, I think we're actually the only building along all of Turtle Creek that has the highest reserves ever. I'm on the board now. So I've been on the board for about 4 years. But we've got over $1 million in reserves.
So 3525, this penthouse is gorgeous. And it's not very expensive. I mean, it's like, I don't know if it's the whole floor, but it is most of the floor, if not. And they had to have a piano airlifted in, like brought in through the skylight. Like that is how they did it. It is so Zsa Zsa Gabor, Liberace, Joan Rivers, like just over the top done up. But the monthly, I was looking at it online the other day. The monthly, and it wasn't that expensive. It was like $1.5 million or something, which for that I would think would be more expensive. But then I was looking at and I could have that number totally wrong. But I was looking, because again, I don't know what shit costs for shit. But I was looking at the monthly HOA dues. It's like $5,000 a month.
Shit.
But they also, and Eric has already explained this to me, they don't pay any of their own utilities. They literally pay like phone and Wi-Fi. Like you think that's it.
That's all we pay too. Everything's in our HOA, but it's by square foot on this street. We have one of the lowest HOAs.
Well, and that's also probably why this one has such a high thing too, because it's a huge unit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You'll pay by square footage. So the Warrington right here next to me, the top 2 floors are their penthouse floors. And it's beautiful because the front side, the east facing side of that building, which is the part where you can see downtown, the windows are entire, floor to ceiling. And so it's beautiful. They're penthouse level over there in the Warrington. I see that. I mean, I have my binoculars. Eric, you have some too.
So the tennis court's across the street.
I'm always looking up there and like, what are you people doing? What's going on? So we get to see when people renovate and all that. But the Warrington, for the most part, it's a snowbird building. It's half or more than half empty most of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eric is saying that even if we got that penthouse for free, we'd have to put $1 million into it. I don't know.
It has been renovated 40 years.
It's like stupid glitzy though. It's like got like gilded mirror. It's like Trump.
It's not Jan's place, is it, Eric? Because Jan, what's her name? Jan Showers? Who's the interior designer that does all the acrylic? She lives over at 3525.
It's not. Yeah. It's not her. It is. I think it's someone who died. I think it was someone like real, like fancy who died or something. Anyway.
Well, down there, the at the one at the Carlisle, the apex of Lemon, where it comes to an A, and then that Carlisle sits right there that has the rounded balconies on the edge. They too let people close in their balconies, so it's kind of random.
Yeah.
But there's like a Sultan or somebody who owns the penthouse of that one, or did.
Well, that's like supposedly the most expensive one on the strip, and it's the only one on the other side, right?
It is on the other side, and it has a Turtle Creek address technically, because the rumor is way back in the day they paid the city like $10 million to have a Turtle Creek address. But it's not the most expensive. The Vendome square foot is most expensive.
Oh yeah, Vendome. That's the.
It's very old, very it's newer, but it looks very old.
Very it's very kind of French provincial over the top.
Yes, and it's where Kenny Goss and George Michael had a place too.
Kenny Goss and George Michael there, and then also Todd and I used to own a condo, and our next door neighbor, that unit was owned by Benny Binion of the Binion's Casinos. His widow, Doris Binion, owned that, and then she lived at the Vendome also.
Well, also, Eric probably knows Greg Asher, because Greg Asher and his husband lived at 3524 for the longest time. Yeah. Their unit was in like local publications, maybe even Elle or something like that. And then they moved, but now I run into Greg lives at the Warrington now because I've seen his blue Porsche and his husband pull out, and I run into Greg all the time smoking cigarettes out there when I walk my dog. So now they live in the Warrington. So I don't know why they left. They left 3525. I thought they said they were going to buy a house. I don't know. And then now he and his partner, his husband, live in the Warrington. Yeah. So
Suzanne wants us to remind you how we met. So Kerrie was my client. So she was at AIA Dallas, the American Institute of Architects.
Yeah.
And I did PR for them. And so she was my client, direct contact. And then you left there and came to work for me for not because of that. You left there. And I had an opening, and she worked part-time for me. For almost a year, I think, right? Isn't that what we?
Yeah, June to June.
Yeah, you came on right as that whole JCPenney mess it was exploding.
Yeah, like that was halfway through. Yeah, because it was that next summer.
That was in June. Yeah. And then, and so then you came, and then we've just been fabulous friends ever since. So that's how. Yes.
I've moved to Cooper's office. We've laughed about the time we sold all the shit. Remember the office downtown? It got so hot in the summertime we couldn't work in it.
Yeah.
It got like above 97 degrees. It was like so hot.
Well, it was that year that we had those. No, it was that year that we had the crazy. It was in Deep Ellum, or on the edge of Deep Ellum there, and it was when we had that crazy summer where it was like 50 days of like 110 degrees.
So hot.
Everything just heated up, and I just sent everybody home. So
yes, it was so hot. It was a cool office though.
We're about to sign off.
What's up, Claire?
Yeah, she just wants to.
Oh, Eric says he does know Greg Asher. I figured you did. So maybe, next time I see him out there, I'm going to ask and be like, where'd you guys go in between buildings? Because they just left there a couple of years ago. Maybe they've been in the Warrington the whole time. But I've run into Greg now, and I talked to him outside. So
he is one who is like fuck it 40s. Like he has got, like, he knows his style, and he is like, this is me. This is who I am. Y'all can Google him. He is in the society
He's so nice. He's so nice.
So sweet. So anyway, well, I guess it's been almost 50 minutes now, girl. So we got to go.
50 minutes.
Everyone, I know. It just goes by so fast, and we don't even. And the viewers seem to love it. So I'm glad that you are a recurring. Thank you for being the Gail to my Oprah. Gail always makes Oprah more interesting. So I'm gonna say bye. We'll say bye. We love you. You are loved. Claire loves you. I love you. Kerrie loves you.
Hi, Claire. Love y'all.
And we love to watch. This is great therapy for the middle of the week. Just take care of yourself. Wear a fucking mask if you go out. And yes, I cussed in front of my children. Wear a mask if you go out.
Don't shoot yourself to death.
Yourself to death. Be kind to yourself. There's nothing you should be doing right now except for taking care of your babies. Don't kill them. Just let them live. And you are good stuff. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Kerrie. It's always fun.
Thanks, Cooper. Bye, everybody.
Find the button to turn this bad boy off. Bye.
Bye.
Where's the button?